everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Little Knitbug podcast. This is the holiday episode. Happy holidays to everyone out there, however you celebrate it. I hope that you're having a good time, taking things slower than usual, hopefully, and getting to spend some time with your families and friends. Well, I don't know, we have Omicron now, so maybe not so many people, but having a good time with your household. And I wish well to everyone and hope you get some much needed rest during this time. But I'm happy to see everyone who's returned, and if you're new here, welcome to the Little Knitbug podcast. My name is Franny. I live in Los Angeles, California, and my main hobbies are knitting and reading, so that's what we're talking about today. I have a lot of whips. I'm just going to go through my finished objects and my works in progress. I actually have finished a lot of things during the past month or so, and a lot of the things were projects that were sitting on my needles for months, so I kind of strapped down. I didn't really make an intentional commitment to finish all of my works in progress by the end of the year, but I want to get those long-term on-hold projects done by the end of the year. And I don't think I'm going to finish all of my works in progress, but at least things like gifts and socks that need like a second sock, like I'm trying to get to those things. So yeah, we'll just start with my oldest to newest, I guess, of my finished objects. So here we go. So my first finished object, I have all of my projects in front of me and I am looking for it. As you can see, there are a lot of things, oh there they are, to get through. So these are actually, I was calling them my dragon scale socks because the pattern and this color combined kind of reminds me of dragon scales or something reptilian. This is a free pattern. I think it's like the birdseed stitch sock, something like that. I will put the name, the correct name and designer on the screen. But these, I just used a black, and then this was a green from Explorer Fiber Co. Explorer Knits. Well, it's on the screen. And these were a gift for my mom. So they're just a normal kind of like size 8 sock for her foot. They're shorties. And it's weird because I finished the first sock in like 4 days, and then the second sock I worked on it for almost a year. So these were on the needles for a really, really long time. And I finally just strapped down and finished them. So I don't think I'd make those again. I made them on size, my usual size. Oh no, those were made on size 0 needles, on 0 DPNs, some wooden DPNs, and it was just kind of monotonous. I think I need something a little more stimulating for my socks usually. So the other socks I'm working on are more stimulating. They are integrated heel socks, so I'll show those later. But that was the first thing I focused on. The next thing that I'm calling this a finished object, but it's there's only one and the ends are not woven in. But I'm going to try to get to this soon, and it's just another short sock. This was made with the, I think it's Araucania sock yarn, and I really, really loved this yarn. Like, I think I would buy more of this sock yarn in the future. It was pretty affordable. I think it was only $23 or something. So I actually bought it when I was passing through Santa Barbara, and I stopped at a random yarn store and picked it up. And because it was so cheap compared to the other sock yarns they carried, I didn't expect much from it. I kind of didn't think it would be like a great knitting experience, but this sock yarn is really comfortable to knit with, and it's soft, and it just this is unblocked, and just it looks so even. There's something about this yarn that just knits up really, really evenly. So I really enjoyed that. The bottom is, well, it's on the screen. I don't remember at the moment, but I believe it's a German yarn. So I just have a couple of these for contrast colors. I have like a black, red, forest green, and this blue. So I, yeah, have those for socks, for socks, and basically just as a contrast color. And it just worked really well with the sock yarn that I had here. So this needs to be finished, but I think it's really cute. It's just a normal slip stitch heel, and that's usually how I do my decreases for my toes. So yeah, just a plain sock. The next sock I have is actually a test knit, and these are the Fireweed socks by Horse Feather Fibers. And this was actually a really fun test knit. Every time I worked on it, it just went by really quickly, and because of some, you know, personal life stuff that happened, I stopped working on it for a while, and then had to kind of rush a little bit to get it done within the month of the test knit. And I mean, I wish I would have been able to knit both of the socks, but sometimes you just kind of can't control things that happen in your life. And that's kind of the reason why I don't do test knits super often. Like, I know that a lot of people really enjoy doing test knits and having that deadline, but for me, I just feel really guilty when things come up and I may not be able to finish in time, or I don't have the full project. And of course, one sock was okay for the test knit, but I just wish I could have done both of them during that time. With that said, I really, really enjoyed this test knit. As you can see, this pattern is so cool because the textured pattern goes all the way down into the heel, and then you're just working the gusset off of the actual pattern. So in a way, it is kind of an integrated heel of a type, not as much as the gift socks by Ailbiona knits, or Ailbiona McLochlainn, which are my favorite sock ever at this point. But it was a really fun experience, and I love that just integrated pattern down onto the foot, and it's just like a really cozy sock. So if you're looking for a sock pattern that is fun and, you know, not too boring and doesn't feel that monotonous, this one you actually do have to pay attention, but the pattern is easy to remember, and you just get like a really cozy, nice sock that makes solid color or kind of like tonals really shine. So yeah, I really enjoyed this test knit. I love how the ribbing, it just curls so slightly. That's part of the pattern, and I think it's just so cute and cozy, and it would look really cute in boots. So yeah, I really loved that one. My next project are the Squad Gourd socks, and these I actually have to wash because I've been wearing these like crazy. It actually got pretty cold this past month where I live, and it's kind of abnormal because it doesn't get super cold in Los Angeles, but it did get really, really cold for a while. And so I started wearing all of my hand knit socks like every day and switching them out and washing them. But these need to be washed because I know I've worn them in the house quite a bit. But these are the Squad Gourd socks, and I use the gift sock pattern by Ailbiona McLochlainn to make these. I think they're just so pretty. This yarn is from Nomadic yarns, and it's a self-striping, I think this was just the most autumny like colorway that I could have procured, and I did knit them during November. I started them in November, and I love this pattern because basically you do your beginning rib, and then there's a ribbed pattern that's different from the 1x1 rib on the cuff, and it goes down onto the heel, and it's an integrated heel. And unlike the other one where then it goes straight into a gusset, like the Fireweed sock into the gusset and the heel turn, this one actually has, it goes into the gusset before you get to the heel turn. And then the heel itself on the bottom is just knit across where you create this panel here. And so you can see with the contrast color, the panel that you create. And then once it kind of pulls in the side, that creates more of that shape with the gusset. And then eventually you come down and work back into your original stitch count right here. And then just finish the sock up as normal. And do just your normal toe, whatever's normal to you, but in the pattern, the toe that they use happens to be the one that I usually use. So I just think this sock looks super polished, and I love that the pattern's named Gift Sock because it really is a good gift. Like it looks, you know, like a sock you would find in like the men's department of some department store, you know, like a dress sock kind of shape. And I think it just looks really sleek. So I really like this pattern. This is, I think, my favorite sock pattern as of now. And then these just came out so cute. I've been wearing them constantly. So yeah, these are super cute. Okay, so I made 4 of these Christmas balls, like Christmas ornament balls. And they are from Arne Carlos. If you don't know about them, Arne and Carlos are designers, and they were fashion designers, but they're also knitwear designers. And they have a lot of free patterns on their blog. They have Christmas ornament collections. They have like a book, and they come out with new ones every year. And so I really liked the look of a lot of their ornaments this year. So I bought their patterns for the Christmas balls, and I've been making them. I made 3. There's a picture here of 3 that I made, and I gifted them already. And then I made another one, but it's not stuffed yet. So it's just looks like this right now. And so yeah, they're all these color work Christmas balls that the patterns, you know, speak to Norwegian color work traditions. So yeah, these are so fun to make. They use a DK weight with a size US 4 DPNs, and they're super fast. You just follow a chart. The increase and decrease pattern is really easy to follow. This was blocked, steam blocked. So you just put a wet towel over it, like put it between a towel and a wet towel, or, you know, you can fold the towel over, kind of spray it with a spray bottle, and then get your iron and steam it. So it really evens it out. Like mine looked really lumpy, and that could be because I'm not an experienced color work knitter. I've been doing a lot more color work recently, like way more than I've ever done. And I think part of that is that I learned how to knit English style, I think last year. And so color work is a lot easier for me now because I'm not necessarily dropping the yarn. I, you know, knit my normal continental style with one color, and then I throw English style with my right hand, and it's made color work a lot more enjoyable and just easier. So I think that might be why I've been doing it more lately. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. They're pretty addicting. They really are, because it's just, they're small and the pattern makes it look so complicated. Like when people see them, they think like, wow, that's really amazing, but you know, it's just color work. And then yeah, I have just some like polyfill stuffing, and I just stuff it with that, and then you close it up. You just pull, you know, but I have this one opened. You close it up, and then you crochet, like just chain a length with a crochet hook, and then you attach it to the top as a little hanging part. And they're super easy and they look really nice and I love them. So I'll probably make more and use them either on my tree or for gifts, or just use them next year or have them ready as gifts. But yeah, these are really, really cute and I recommend them if you want like a really simple, fast project for the holidays. And just the steam blocking makes it look like you know what you're doing. So I recommend, yeah, steam blocking them after. It'll take out any lumps. It's amazing. It's magic. So, and then the next two things are my big projects. So I have my ranunculus, which I blocked. I've been doing a lot of blocking. I'll talk about blocking right now in a second, but it's my ranunculus. And of course, everyone and their mother has made a ranunculus, right? Or like 5 ranunculuses. There's a blogger who, oh my God, what's her name? Is it her name Kat? Well, she has knitted a lot of them. And I remember thinking, like, why does she keep knitting this pattern? Like, is it that great? Or is it just like it suits her? And so I knitted my first ranunculus, and I was looking for a way to use up this yarn was actually supposed to be a wedding shawl for someone, but then they bought a shawl and then I just was like, I gave up on it. So I was like, okay, they already have it. They don't need to. So I frogged the shawl that I was making, and I was looking for a way to reuse this yarn. I just realized this is inside out. Oy. And I noticed that the ranunculus really doesn't take up that much yarn. A lot of people say that they use only 1 skein of something, of a yarn to make it. And I had these 2 lace weight skeins, so I held them together, making it like a light fingering. And I knitted the ranunculus. And this is a silk alpaca blend from Malabrigo Silkpaca, I think that's what it's called. And it's in this nice eggplanty purple color. And yeah, or actually it's called Violetas. So like it's violet, I guess. And I never thought, like, purple was my favorite color as a kid, but I just never thought purple necessarily suited me. I don't wear purple as an adult. I like purple things, but I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I've been wearing it with black, like black skirts or black pants, and I love it. So this weirdly is making me more open to color and to purple, which I never thought I would look good in. But that's the thing with purple and a lot of colors. I think we're really quick to dismiss them with things that we wear or want to make with, but there are so many different tones of colors, and there's different, you know, the value of the color also, like the lightness and darkness. And so I think I forget that, and when I, you know, take a chance with something like this, I remember, oh yeah, it has to do with, you know, matching your skin's undertone with the color. And there are purples that are red based or blue based, cool or warm, and then dark or, you know, deep or really light or pastel-y. So it's just, that's something to keep in mind, because I think it's easy to think like, well, I can't wear that color, or why would I knit with something like that where I like how it looks and I enjoy knitting with it, but I know I won't wear it. Like, I think we could make a lot of colors work for us. You just have to keep an open mind, and I need to remind myself to keep an open mind. So yeah, I love this. Here's some footage of me wearing it out in the world. And I loved it so much that I actually cast it on a second one, because I have a lot of random fingering weight and some random mohair that I just kind of accumulate because I love it. I love mohair and I love pretty yarns. And then when you combine, you know, mohairs with other colors, it can make it either pop more, the resulting fabric or be more muted, which is what I like sometimes. So I will show that actually I'll show that next. I technically am done. I just have to lengthen the sleeves, but this is my second ranunculus. This color story is like what I normally wear in my life. I wear a lot of neutrals. Instead of white, I wear creams. I wear like cream and black and charcoal gray and just a lot of neutrals so that when I do wear color, I can pair it with other things. So like this, I would wear like a black bottom with. Oh, when I wore the purple ranunculus, I wear like a skin toned tank top, like spaghetti strap underneath. Just because it's a little bit see-through. So I'll probably do that with this. But the thing is, like, as it gets colder, I think it would also look really cute with a black turtleneck underneath and just throwing one of these on top. And I think I'll wear it that way if it stays cold and I can get away with it. But even just as a shirt with an undershirt spaghetti, the ranunculus works really well. And it stretches a lot more, and after you block it, it does stretch. So if you're like a large or extra large in American clothing sizes and you think maybe you need to go to the extended size on the ranunculus, I think it depends on the fit that you want. But for me, I have a 44-inch bust, and the normal size fits me fine. Like it just fits me as a slightly loose t-shirt, kind of like that. So it depends on the fit that you want, but if you don't have a lot of yarn and you're kind of like, I'm like a large or extra large, maybe I should size up, I would say just do the normal pattern, because when you block it out, it really is quite wide. You can see how much it stretches. And this one actually looked a lot smaller before I blocked it. So I did a full soaking block where I used my wool wash, which I have here somewhere. I use my wool wash. I usually use Eucalyptus, but I happened to just buy soak because it was there in the store when I needed some, and it's in the scent Lacy. And it works really well. It has a really subtle smell. Oh, this one isn't even blocked. This one is blocked. It has a subtle smell and it doesn't irritate me, and I'm super allergic to a lot of scents. So this one doesn't bother me at all. I don't know if it's hypoallergenic, but it works great for me. So yeah, I just soaked it and then let it dry flat outside. And I'm going to do the same for this one. And I expect this one to also grow a little bit. So yeah, I really love, I love my ranunculuses, ranunculi. I love them. And I think it's really cute. Even if you work like in the workplace, I think it would be so cute to wear this and then a blazer on top. You could really get away with it because it's cropped. And it just kind of is like a nice sweater, you know. So yeah, I love this pattern, and I'm going to make a third one. And I know the cliche, everyone makes so many, but it's a fun pattern. It's really easy and the result is so great, and it doesn't use that much yarn. I have to do it. So I finally understand the madness that is the ranunculus obsession, and I fell into it. So yeah, I have to admit that it's a little shameful. Like, I'm sorry, but if you haven't made one, maybe try it. And even if it's not your thing, I think it's a really good gift too. I feel like you'd find someone in your circle who'd be happy to have one, and it's a one size pattern. So, you know, it could fit a lot of different body types. It just depends on the fit that you want. Because obviously it's not on someone a lot thinner. This is going to be like a lofty sweater, but on me, it's just like a nice t-shirt. So yeah, there's the ranunculus. My next one is probably my most complicated project of all of these. So I'm going to take a little break, drink my coffee, and then I'll talk about it. In case you're wondering, I'm drinking a rosemary latte today. I can't really have too much caffeine anymore, so I just have them do one single shot of espresso, but that's what I'm drinking with almond milk because I'm lactose intolerant. I'm sorry, I have all these problems, it seems, but that's what I'm drinking in case anyone is wondering. But so my next finished object, I actually really love it, but I haven't blocked it yet, so it's still a little bit rough feeling. But this is the Tulip sweater. And as you can see, it has that bottom scalloped, oh my gosh, okay. It has the scalloped edge on the bottom. It's kind of hard to understand how to do it from the instructions, but eventually I figured it out. This sweater, I don't want to say it posed a lot of problems to me, but I definitely underestimated the amount of mohair I would need. This is made with Istex Plotulopi, and it's in the Oatmeal colorway, and it's paired with Cognac Mohair by Olann. And Olann Mills, like, I love their yarn so much, and I thought one skein would be enough, but I needed 2. So if you're gonna make a sweater like this, like, you need 2 skeins of that mohair. And it's kind of a bummer because you can see the difference right here, the line. I fortunately had enough for the entire body and scallop, but yeah, the arms, you can see the line. But I mean, it's okay because I'm wearing it anyway. And then I did the arms, and at first I did the arms and they were just up to here, the cuff, because I thought I wanted a cropped, like a very cropped arm so that it wouldn't get in the way when I'm knitting. And then the cold snap came and I had to pick up a cake, and it was storming and raining outside. And I realized, because this is such a cozy, warm sweater, it seemed like such a good choice to wear in that weather, except the cuffs were really short and I regretted it. So I went back in, I picked up on the cast off edge, and then I started, it looks wonky because I started knitting with a larger size needle than I was supposed to. So I didn't want to remove it and redo it just because I was lazy. So I switched over to the right size and continued. And then I ran out of mohair. So this was one color. This was, I used Rust from Knitting for Olive to, obviously it wasn't the right color match, but whatever, I already bought it. And then I ran out and I had to switch over using, I think the color is Robin from Knitting for Olive, and it actually looks okay. I kind of wish I used this one because it's a little brighter than Rust was in the first place, but oh well. So I did that. I extended it by 2 or 3 more inches, and now it's perfect. And I did that on this one. And this one looks weirder and wonkier, as you can see here. Oh wait, this is the horrible looking one, yeah. And the reason why it's horrible on a search and stretch is because the pattern actually calls for an Italian tubular cast off. And when I was doing it, my Plotulopi kept breaking when I was trying to pull it through for that kind of invisible look, and it was a nightmare. So I started doing a normal cast off, but then when I went to unravel the cast off to put it back on the needles and extend it, I couldn't unravel the Italian portion. I couldn't. It was going to break the yarn, and it was a nightmare. So I just picked up the portion there, which is why it looks horribly wonky, and I just continued it, and it looks so weird. But like the color of the robin, it looks really cute. So yeah, I really do regret not using that one. It's just closer to rust in the brightness level, and then or it's closer to cognac than rust was. But oh well, it's done. And yeah, now it's done. This has not been blocked yet. I'm going to do probably a 1 day long soak because Plotulopi is actually super rustic and it can feel a little bit itchy. I have worn this 2 or 3 times and it didn't bother me, the itch, at all. I guess I'm not very sensitive, but I know from experience that these Icelandic yarns do actually soften up a lot when you do a long soak, when you block it. So I actually usually do a double soak with them. I'll do the initial wash and soak, and usually it releases a lot of, like, the water's really cloudy. I don't know if it's lanolin, I don't know what's going on, but it's like dirty water. And then I'll empty it and do a second soak with clean tepid water and the soak or whatever wool wash you have, and then I'll let it air dry. So I'm going to do this, but I just need a big enough bucket. So I'm not used to blocking sweaters because I'm a new sweater knitter, kind of. So yeah, I have to find a bucket large enough to fit this in, because usually I use a bowl, but a bowl is not going to work. So that's my tulip. And now we are on to whips. I lied. This is my last finished object. These are the Faz mittens by Ailbiona McLochlainn, and these are the cutest mittens I've ever made. I love them so much. They're just so cute. These are a gift. So I think these are a great gift. They just look really impressive and they're adorable. I will try them on for you. I knit these with Lettlopi, so it's basically kind of like a worsted weight yarn, 100% wool, and it's basically 2 strands of Plotulopi lightly twisted together. So that's what it is. My sister lives in a cold weather place, at least in the winter it's cold. So these are going to be very practical for her. She doesn't have any, and she was just mentioning how it's horrible walking around outside on her walks without something for her hands. So I thought, yeah, I'd make her some, and they came out really cute. I did do some wonky things on them. I decreased on the fingertip here through the back loop. And I did it because I actually learned from Arne and Carlos that that's how you show the color work on a decrease or increase. In retrospect, I shouldn't have done it here, because as you can see here, there's actually the pink border, the border all the way around. And I didn't realize that. I don't know why I didn't realize it, but it didn't occur to me that there was a border being formed of those other colors. And so I did it just so that I could get the pattern up there, and then I regretted it. But I did it on both sides, actually. In the end, whatever, it's a handmade knit, and at least I'm going to tell her, at least you know quickly that this is for the right hand, the one that's wonky, and this is the left hand. So, I mean, it's fine. And yeah, they're done, and they're really cute. This thumb is slightly too long. Again, it's a hand knit. Oh well, when I visit her, I can fix this one, because I don't even know. I think her hands are smaller than mine, and these are a little bit snug on me, so they should fit her perfectly. But yeah, I can fix that, or even like sew it down a bit when I see her, if she wants that. So whatever, it's fine. It's a gift for my sister. I really recommend making these. I wouldn't recommend making them in this yarn if you are sensitive, because it does feel slightly scratchy. But it would look great in any yarn, really. But if you do like a rustic look, I was thinking of even making some and just like putting them in a shadow box and hanging them on my wall, because they are gorgeous. They're just like a gorgeous little piece of art. So, you know, there's an idea too, if you want to make it and have it look rustic and just have it as a decoration. If you're like me and live somewhere really warm where we do not need mittens. But yeah, these I think are probably my favorite finished object that I've been making. And I know I have a lot, but it's because, yeah, I've been knitting a lot during the holidays and the cold weather. And yeah, on to my works in progress now. Hi. So I apologize for the lighting being so different. I actually forgot to mention a finished object, which ended up being pretty cute. I thought this was going to be a hat, kind of, it's a thick, thin yarn. It's a bulky weight. It's from Universal Yarns Bamboo Bloom in the colorway Rice. And it's this kind of vanilla cream with this light powder pink. And initially I was going to make a hat, but as I made the hat, it just seemed like kind of wonky. It wasn't coming out the way I envisioned it. I've seen other hats made with a thick thin that was closer in weight, like the two types of textures were closer in weight than this one. So I thought I would switch over and make a cowl. And I really like how it came out because they kind of remind me of clouds, just like little clouds or like cloud cover. And I held it with a Mohair. The color was vanilla. It's from, not Lana Grosso. It's from, well, here I'm going to add the color. So I held it together and I got this cowl and I gave it to my mom. I still have to weave in the ends, but it's just a cowl, just like that, obviously. But she is always cold and she was wearing it in her sweater like this, just wrapped over and then tucked into her sweater or her vest like that. And she actually slept with it last night, so she said it was really helpful. And she was wearing it when she was doing some errands today. So that was, in my opinion, a successful project. And it's something I really probably wouldn't wear, but it's something that my mom finds really useful and she does like things like this. So just to throw that in there because I totally forgot. And I should weave in the ends right now because it looks kind of crazy. But yeah, that's the last finished object. My first work in progress, it's the stripey vest, and I should have been done with this a long time ago, and I just have not gotten around to it. This is by M. Weekerts. I've mentioned it before, and it's with Big Little Yarn Co., Melanie's yarn, and it's so cute. And I think this, I'm all about turtlenecks suddenly. And I went to Uniqlo and got a black turtleneck, the Heat Tech turtleneck. And now I just want to wear it with everything. So I think I'm going to wear it under this stripey vest that's cropped and with like my normal skirts that I wear. But I need to get around to it. It is fingering weight, and maybe that's why it's more of a psychological thing. I just don't want to knit with something so thin sometimes, thinking like, oh, this is going to take me forever. But the weird thing about this project is that whenever I do knit it and get into it, it just goes by so quickly, and I don't get bored of it. I don't know why, because it's just stockinette, but I think it's the fact that the color changes every 2 rows, and then you're using so many different colors. Oh my gosh, this is like, oh no. I'm going to get back to working on this, and hopefully by next episode, probably in a month's time, I should be done with it and I will be able to wear it, and hopefully I'll get some pictures of that. So that's my first work in progress. I have this green hat, which I've been trying to finish for quite a while. Oh no, it came off the needles. So I have this green hat I've been trying to finish making. This yarn is from Black Goat Fibers. I think. And I love their yarn. I'm going to buy more of their yarn in a while when I work through my stash because their colors are so pretty. I actually almost bought some yarn. They had a sale recently. I almost bought 4 skeins, but then I stopped myself because I was broke. And when you're broke, you shouldn't be buying yarn. So that I need to finish. I'm going to get to it. Another thing that I need to get to is this gift. It's the Jessie made my secret little crop top. And actually, I'm wearing my secret little crop top today. As you can see, it's the tank top I'm wearing under my shirt. And this was the one I showed before that was knit with Sandnes yarn in line. And I love this shirt. At first, I was like, I finished this right when the weather got colder, and it just felt so like, I don't know why I did that. But then I realized, oh, this is perfect to wear under other shirts and, you know, to layer with. So I'm loving this right now. I love layering it. I like the higher neckline. It's not too low or not too high. It's high enough to cover everything, but it's low enough where I don't feel suffocated, or it's not like a t-shirt up on my collarbone. So this is perfect, and I think I'm going to make another one because I have some Shibui knits in the green apple colorway. I think it's Rain is the type of yarn, but yeah, I need to make another one because I love it. So if you live in a warm weather place or a place that has like very kind of like warmer transitional weather for the season changes, what does that even mean? I'm sorry, but if it's warmer, I think this is such an awesome pattern to knit with a cotton mix yarn, some type of cotton blend, or you know, and just wear it as a layering piece under things because it's really comfortable. And I actually mentioned to my companion today that even if I was in the workplace, I would completely wear this in a neutral color with a blazer on top, and then just, you know, a professional pant or skirt. So I think this is really versatile, and I love it, and I need to make another one, but I need to finish that blue one. And then my next thing, these are all mostly gifts, by the way, so I do need to finish them. But my next one is actually this. It's another gift. It's for my mom, and she doesn't use YouTube or the internet or anything, so I can talk about it here. But this is Twigsy by the Petite Knitter. Petite Knitter. Well, here's the information on the screen. I'm so sorry that I didn't get this sorted out previously. I love all of her patterns. I want to make everything that she's designed. And now that I have more sweaters under my belt, I feel like I can do that. But I thought this was a super awesome, chunky, cozy, warm gift for my mom for Christmas. She really loves color, but also I try to tone it down with the neutral. So I think it's looks pretty chic, you know, for her. I think it kind of reminds me of something that Pearl Soho, like the color story is something that I would see from Pearl Soho. So I thought it'd be cute for her. So every time I knit it, I get through about one color's worth. So sometimes I stop halfway through and then I get like here. That was the amount that I knit in one sitting. And then sometimes I do more, but it's been about that, like kind of one repeat here every time I sit down. So I think I could get this done by Christmas because it is a worsted weight yarn, and I use Knit Picks Wool of the Andes for this, which is really, really affordable, which is a concern of mine lately. They just have really cute colors, and I love these kind of fluorescent bright colors with a neutral. So I'm actually really enjoying this knit. This is kind of my stress relief knit right now because it's you follow a color work chart and the whole pattern is just one sheet of paper. It's really easy to follow. And I think that's actually a really good practice for a first time color work knitter because you're using fairly large needles. These are size 8, which is a 5mm needle, I think. Yeah, 5mm. And then the worsted weight just is a quick knit and it blocks out really well. This was steam blocked from here down, and then this is the normal wonky, my wonky knitting. So it just looks really nice, and I think it's good practice. Even if you want to knit it short as a cowl, I think that could be really cute. This is a gift, and it's just another Ailbiona gift sock with the integrated heel. This is from the Sock Squad Sock Club by Farmer's Daughter Fibers, and it's in Fantastic Mr. Fox, the colorway. This is a gift for someone who loves Fantastic Mr. Fox, who happens to be behind the camera. So not a surprise, but he actually did choose the color, and it happened to be from like a movie he loves. So yeah, that's coming along. I need to get working on that one. And then I have a spooky sock. Where is my spook? Oh, here it is. So this was from the Kinetic Knitter. I don't remember. It was on the screen. This is my Halloween sock that did not get done for Halloween. So I worked on it and then I stopped because I was doing the integrated heel, but then this happened, this weird pooling, which I should have anticipated. I did not. So I think I'm going to rip back and actually use the orange as the contrast color and just not do the integrated heel after all. But I haven't been wanting to do it because I have so many other things to do. So that's just going to be, these are going to be for me eventually. I'm not in a rush. Then next I have, it's actually behind me. They are these colors. I didn't think I was going to do a shawl this soon because I have had Moody Fairy on my plans list and I have the yarn in a bag ready. But I don't know, there was something about this shawl that I had to cast on immediately. So I obtained the pattern the first day it came out, and I even considered buying the kit from Levaniemi, which is funny because Moody Fairy also has a Levaniemi kit. But as with Moody Fairy, I looked in my stash and realized that I had everything I needed to make it. And even this green, I didn't know what I was going to do with this green because I had it just on hold from Big Little Yarn Co. from the Forest Walk set for the stripy sweater vest. So I repurposed it for this shawl, and I think it's just so perfect. These colors are so cute. Two of these were some small skeins, some minis from, they were like leftover Advent minis from Oatmeal Fiber Co. The top one is from Big Little Yarn Co. It's one of the Ghibli set colors. So two of those are Ghibli sets that came together. Two are the minis from Camellia, and then the other Big Little Yarn Co. green, which is like the perfect green for this. So I'm really looking forward to that. Ah! My coffee got knocked over and somehow didn't fall on my bed. I thank the yarn deities for protecting my bed. That's the Autumn Tides Shawl. And then my last whip I have, there are so many, I'm so sorry. This is crazy. It's this cross stitch kit by Junebug and Darlin, and it's the Take Time to Heal kit. I'm not a cross stitcher or embroiderer, but I really wanted to work on a project, and this is like one of the most fun projects I've ever done. That's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. It says Take Time to Heal Flowers, and I actually want to put this up in my room, and then once I start working out of the house again, if I ever have like, you know, a physical workplace, I'd like to put that on the wall wherever I go, or leave it at home. I don't know, but it's been really fun to make. I learned how to do French knots, and yeah, it's the directions are super awesome. If you're into cross stitch or you want to try something that looks really nice and is really well thought out, these are really cool kits. So if I do more cross stitch, I'm definitely getting them from Junebug and Darlin. They're handmade in Portland, Oregon, and it's a small business, so it's awesome. It comes with everything you need. The cloth, tapestry needles, the embroidery floss, batting for the framing, felt for the backing, the hand-drawn instructions, and then the hoops and the patterns. That's been really, really fun, and I'm almost done. So once I do finish, I will take a picture or show you guys, and maybe let me know if you check them out and get a kit. I'm just curious. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I think they're really cool, and I want to see other people's projects, or your cross stitch projects in general, because I just like, I'm really impressed by cross stitch. So yeah, those are all of my works in progress. Next thing, I do want to talk about my plans for the future. Not life plans, just project plans. So I actually am going to do a third ranunculus, as I mentioned. And I have some Holst Garn in Coast, which is their cotton blend, practically half cotton, half wool. I've used Coast and it's really annoying to work with. I really didn't enjoy working with it, but once I blocked it, I did like a long soak block and it blooms really beautifully. And I hate that I love how it looks after you wash it and it blooms, because it's such a bee to work with. It is really annoying. I hate the feeling that I feel like it's almost hard to maintain a good tension with it when you're using it, but then the blocking takes any wonkiness out and it's gorgeous, and it's a really awesome, almost dense fabric for, like warm weather places. It's gorgeous. I hate that it's gorgeous. So I have a question actually for all the viewers here. If you use Holst Garn, which is, known to be really affordable because they don't remove the spinning oil from it. So that's why it's discounted. They take a step out of the process and are able to sell it at a lower price because, that responsibility of production goes on to the consumer to remove the spinning oil. So if you do use this, do you roll this into or unravel this into hanks and then wash it first to remove the spinning oil? Or do you do what I did, just knit with it in an annoying way and then do a long soak to remove it? I just want to know what other people do and find out what I should do. I'm just curious. And I know a lot of people use the 100% wool for sweaters. I think it's super soft. I don't remember, but I'm just wondering. So anyway, this is going to be a marled ranunculus. The color is sapphire and the other color is porcelain. So I'm going to hold these together. These are like an extremely light fingering weight. So it's not even going to be like a DK weight. It's going to be like a heavy fingering. Once you use it and wash it, it feels like a thick lace weight when it's just like this and unwashed. But it's a weird yarn, but the result's really nice. So that's my next project that I want to get to. My other project are 3 of these hats. They're requests from people in my life. So not much to say, 3 hats. I'm going to use Brooklyn Tweed's Arbor yarn in a DK weight to do those. I just stopped the filming to eat a slice of bread because it's just a reminder we need to take care of ourselves. If you're watching right now, drink a glass of water. Yeah, it's easy when you're doing things throughout the day to remember or to forget to hydrate or to forget to eat. So we have to remember that taking care of ourselves in those small ways, it really is good for you, and easy to neglect yourself when you're like worrying about taking care of things. So here's your reminder. Take it from me. I just had to eat a slice of bread because I forgot to eat. So yeah, we're back to the projects. And then the last, oh, there are two more things, some plans. I love wearing berets in winter. And every time I have a beret, I lose it. I always lose my berets. So my next project, I really want to make a beret, and I have all this yarn. I have yarn to use for my stash. So I plan to make best beret, and I just love how it looks really dense. I don't want a slouchy beret. I like really dense, solid felt berets, but I figure why not knit one? So I'm really excited to make that. That's going to be my next personal project for me. After I'm done with all the things that I've shown you, I have way too many things to work on. But that, and then the next thing is another sweater with Plotulopi. I have the Plotulopi in, this is plum. This is in plum. Heathered plum or just plum? I don't remember. But I have two plates of it, which I've shown before, and I'm going to be pairing it with this mohair, which I got from Gabriella Makes. It was in a hat kit, and I bought it thinking I was going to make the hat for my mom, but I ended up not making it because she wanted a ribbed hat. So I just kept the yarn, and I've had it on hand, and I think it's going to look really cute. So I don't know what I'm going to make. I could make another ranunculus, which is crazy. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Or I can make the posy sweater. Or I was even thinking of making the Corellia, is it Corellia sweater by Midori Hirose, the Midori Cafe Knits. So I'm not sure, but I want to make a sweater out of this for myself. And it might be like a short sleeve sweater, or it might not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We will see. I have no idea. We will see. But if I do make another sweater like the tulip sweater, I'm going to need a second skein, and that means I'm going to have to track down a matching or close, color that may match or may not. I don't know. So that's a nightmare. I'm going to have another weird experience like that tulip sweater, maybe. So we'll see. But those are my plans. And then next, I want to talk about acquisitions before I get into books. So the first acquisition, I actually, this is another plan I forgot. I bought the Diablo glitter and Diablo yarn from Hobbii in a sweaters quantity for the Rachel Knits Things. Rachel, I think info is here, and it's for a cardigan. So I bought this during a Black Friday sale. It was discounted, and I've been wanting to make a cardigan like this for quite a while. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to having a nice little fuzzy cardigan. And the colors I chose were, I think this one is called Chai, and this one I think might be rose gold or blush. I don't remember. Here's the info on the screen. But yeah, so I'll hold these two together. One has a glitter element, and I'm looking forward to that. The next thing I have are these 3 skeins in Damn Cold Night by Starbath Dyes, a Canadian dyer. These are gorgeous, and I want more yarn from Starbath Dyes, but it's a BFL fingering, and I was thinking of making a lightweight sweater for myself. I don't know yet, but I bought it because it's gorgeous. And also, when I was in middle school, I was like the biggest Avril Lavigne fan, and she has a song Damn Cold Night, which I love. I love that whole album as like an 11-year-old. So yeah, and they're, my colors, some muted greeny blues. So yeah, I got that, and I love it. I bought these secondhand from someone on Instagram. I don't even remember who at this point. I forgot. I've always wanted to try ritual dyes, and they're ritual dyes in Undine or Undine. I don't know. in the color lamb's ear. So it's kind of a sagey light green. And this is a cotton and linen blend. It's a fingering weight. So I'm thinking of holding these with the mohair. I don't have a solid project idea for it. The next two things are from the Sock Squad Club for Farmers' Daughters Fibers. And I believe it's over now, and I forgot to sign up for next year's, so I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I'll try a different sock club for next year or not. I have so much yarn. I don't know. But this is the color Ermias, and it's a nice tealish blue and green. And then this one is Christmas Crack, which I actually really love this. It's this you know, bright Christmassy, like evergreen, and then this crazy looking holiday yarn, which I think is so cute. I know I'm so bad, but what if I held this with like a baby pink and made a ranunculus with this? Like, that'd be so cute. I think it's really cute, and I like the color scheme together. I don't know. I could make that my like Christmas sweater, my ugly Christmas sweater for next year if I do make that, and that might be cute. And maybe I'll use like something with glitter on it and make it very garish. But I love that pattern, so I don't know. So those are my other two acquisitions. And then my last yarn acquisition is Bighorn Sock. It's a mini skein in Bourbon Pecan Roast by Knotty Pine Fiber Co. And I just discovered Knotty Pine. And after discovering Knotty Pine, I don't know if they have any clubs, but if they do, I'm going to keep an eye out because I really like their yarn, and I saw their advent and I really wanted it and I couldn't get it. So after seeing the Coast to Coast advent and then the Knotty Pines advent, I regretted not doing an advent mini skein thing this year. So maybe next year I'll procure a yarn advent calendar for the holidays. But it's cool because I feel like when everyone talks about or posts about their advents on Instagram or social media, I just become more exposed with indie dyers. And every time I get more exposure, it's just kind of fun to find new people to support or, you know, get some new yarn when I feel like it. Look at that glow. It has this like glowiness to it, this yarn. It's a gorgeous brown. I never even thought I like loved brown until I saw, you know, browns like these that almost glow. That's beautiful. So pretty. So Knotty Pine Co. And then my last acquisition, this was actually a gift from my companion. It's from Horse Feather Fiber Arts, and it's the most adorable project bag. It has woodland creatures on it and florals and foliage, and it has a nice kind of olive green interior and canvas. And I love that it has this little strap because yeah, I could wear the strap, but also I could hang it from like my desk like knob area type of thing and have it there when I'm working, or I tend to hang it on my little thing on the wall here when I'm not using it. There's like a hook there. So yeah, I love having that, and it has a little drawstring. And this has actually been housing my ranunculus. So this has fit my ranunculus like the whole time I worked on it. As you can see, sorry, I was a bit aggressive with that, but it fits the ranunculus perfectly in there. So it's actually pretty big for, you know, something considered to be a small size project bag. So I love this. I think it's so cute, and I'm really lucky that I have a companion that facilitates my yarn craziness and gets me goodies and gifts when I show him. It's only empty because I did finish the ranunculus besides the arms. So yeah, that's all with that. If you have any questions, I'm really bad about comments and writing things in the info box. I'm going to try to be better about that this time. But if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to, comment below and talk to me about your projects, my projects, anything, if you have any suggestions, when it comes to the things I've mentioned, like what do you do about Holst Garn and, like, yeah. So I'm going to now go into books. So if you are not interested in books, thank you so much for showing up here today and listening to me and being my fellow knitting friend while I talk about all of my projects and whatnot. And as a reminder, I am here to make friends. So I'm always happy to talk to, anyone. Send me a message. My Instagram is Little Knit Bug also. So please feel free to follow me there and send me a DM. I am actually here to make friends. Like that's why I have this. I want to have community. I want to find other people who like the things that I like and are willing to chit chat to me about them. So yeah, I'm here to find other like-minded people, and you can share your yarn crazy chaos with me the way that I am sharing with you. Show me your desk chaos, show me your yarny chaos, and we can, have fun with that. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a great holiday. And here is the book segment. So I have been reading a lot. I did meet my reading goal for this year, and I don't have a final tally yet because I'm still reading, and I don't end my count until the last day of the year. And I think I am going to get through a couple more things before the 31st. So yeah, I've been reading a lot lately. I have just been feeling like it. So the first thing I read was House of Salt and Sorrows. Information's up here. The cover is so pretty. I have to say I'm kind of, not that I'm shallow, I guess I'm cover shallow because this cover is what made me want to read the book. It's so pretty. And I had the sense that it was just kind of like a gothic romance. It ends up being a bit gothic horror, gothic romance. So the story basically is about a castle full of sisters, and they start passing away unexpectedly. And there's some family drama about, heirs, and there's a stepmother, and kind of discussion about what happens to the children who are not heirs to the title, and they have to find suitors. And so it's very fairy tale. It's very fairy tale, but there is surprisingly a lot of psychological horror. And I really enjoyed it because I was kind of kept guessing the whole time. This is, I would consider, more young adult. So if you're not into young adult, I would skip it. But it was a bit mature, in my opinion. So yeah, I really liked it. And I think if you're looking for something to read that's to kind of just help you escape and get into a different world, I think this is a really good pick because it's a totally different world, and it's heavily fantasy based, but then that psychological horror element is there. And the main character is really interesting. She's slightly, morally gray. Like she has flaws and she's a complex character. So we love that, right? When our female, our heroines, not female, our heroines are complex characters. So I really enjoyed it in that sense. And there is a kind of murder mystery thing going on also, that kind of vibe. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. If you want kind of a quick read that's just for escapism, I think it's pretty fun. The next book I read was Catherine House, and it's another kind of gothic romance. And I did not like Catherine House. I went into it thinking I would. I had a vague idea of what it was about. It's basically about a young girl who goes to a college where you have to remain fairly isolated, and some things happen. But the thing is, I feel like nothing really happened. Like I just read through it, and there was some beautiful writing. The writer is not a bad writer. That's the thing. She's not a bad writer. but I just feel like nothing really happened, and it could be because it's a debut novel, that it just kind of felt weak to me, kind of wonky. The thing is, if this writer writes another book, I will definitely read it because I think there was a lot of potential. It just felt a little, it didn't feel, just felt like I didn't feel invested in the characters the way that I would have liked to, considering what was going on with the plot. But I just never really felt invested. I didn't feel like I really got to know the characters well. And then so many of the characters were really unlikable. So every main character I didn't like. And that really kind of made it not a very pleasant experience. I felt like I was trudging through it. So that's Catherine House. You may like it if you like um, gothic horror that kind of has a futuristic sci-fi element to it, but personally I didn't. The next book I read was Circe. Circe is another book that has a really, really pretty cover, and I studied art history, so I studied, you know, Greek and Roman mythology, and the classics like pretty heavily. So whenever these books come out that are centered on that, I'm never super interested, and I think it's just because I studied um, so many of so much of that subject matter in depth. But I thought I'd give it a try, and maybe it was a little bit because I heard a lot of people liked it, but also because the cover is so pretty. See, I am shallow. That's what it is. I am shallow. So I really, really loved Circe. I loved it, and I did not think I would love it, but um, the writing is really easy to read. It's pleasant, um, complex characters everywhere, and it's just really beautiful. The writer knows how to like depict these different places and these stories that we already know in this kind of like really fresh light. So I really enjoyed it, and I liked the ending, and it was just it's a good book. I recommend it. I think I'd recommend this one to everyone. If you like witchy things, I'd recommend it because it's like about witches but not what we think. It's like a different flavor of witchery, I want to say. But yeah, I really liked it, and I think it's actually a good holiday book because it's another one of those kind of escapism books. You just kind of get out of your daily life and go visit this other place for a little bit. So next was Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. And the only reason why I finished this book, I've been trying to read it for almost a year now, is because I read every single other book that she wrote. And I just wanted to, I guess, tell myself that I read them all and not give up, but I didn't like it. And I actually don't like her Grisha series, and I don't like this King of Scars series either. I really liked Six of Crows and the second book in it, and I liked Ninth House. So I'm in a way a fan of her writing, but I just didn't like this, and I just felt like it was a waste of my time. But I don't know. I had to push through. I don't know um, why I forced myself to struggle. But yeah, I didn't like it. But if you like her Grisha series, I think you'd like it. Yeah. The next book was The X Hex, and I read this on a 7-day library loan for new books, and I heard a lot of people liked it. I think it was part of one of those popular like book subscription boxes. So I've heard a lot about it, and I was just looking for something really lighthearted and not heavy, and that's what it is. It's kind of a romance adventure book that's lighthearted and not heavy. And it's fun. If you like romance, I would recommend it. If you like things about witches and spookiness, I'd recommend it. Um, it's just like super lighthearted, an easy read. It's fast. It was fun. The next book was Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And I know I've mentioned that I read The Beautiful Ones because I thought it was this book. So this one is actually about vampires, and the world is really cool because she presents vampires in a way that I haven't seen anywhere else before. It's more like they're like, you know, they're all squirrels, but they're different species of squirrels. And it's kind of like that. Like there's like vampires, but there's different species and they have different powers and they're from different places. And it's very substantial, the differences between the different types of vampires. Like they're not just a different, you know, color or have different eye, like they're totally different beings. So it's really interesting in that way. And then the story, you know, it's centered it takes place in Mexico City. And there's like a cute dog in it. It was like kind of heavy sometimes, so I don't know, if you're looking for something lighthearted, I wouldn't read it. But if you like noir and horror and you're a fan of Sylvia Moreno Garcia, I would say pick it up. It's fun, and libraries are carrying it, the audiobook. I know at least LA Public Library is. So yeah, check out your Libby, because I know that, I don't know if it's been republished, but it was pretty rare, the physical copies before recently. So yeah, that was fun. It wasn't my favorite of her works, but it was okay. The next is The One. Um, and I think there's a show or something, but I just read the book, and it actually really reminds me of the pacing of The Rook. So if you like The Rook, which I really liked, it's a page turner like that. It's really easy to get into. It's a fast read, and it has kind of like, it's, I want to say it's kind of centered. I felt like it was just such a centered book. Like it didn't meander too much, which was really refreshing. Despite the fact that it's telling the story of like 5 different relationships going on at the same time. And yeah, it still felt so centered. So I really liked it. I thought it was written well. I thought it was um it could be a little predictable or cliche at times, but it was fun. If you like science fiction, I think it's kind of like soft science fiction. And it kind of reminds me of some Black Mirror episodes that I've seen. So yeah, if you're into that, I would check it out. I did like it. Uh, so next is Ray Bearer, and I am about to finish Ray Bearer. I like it. I don't love it, but I think I've just been reading so many things that are similar to it. Um, I read that N.K. Jemisin book. Well, this is the book I'm referring to, and it's similar to that in that it's about a palace and kind of like a royal court, and there's kind of like the heroine is almost a savior figure, and savior in the fact that like the story centers around her divinity, or you know, the mythology of the place. um and it also reminds me of the bone setter's, is it the bone setter's daughter, the bone, okay, it's this book. But it also kind of has that feel, so it's very like palace intrigue sort of thing going on, and then like fantastical elements. The thing I really love about Raybearer is the magic system that's created. In some ways it kind of reminds me of that thing in Sense8, if you've seen that show, like how there's like a group of people that are psychologically linked and then have like powers. It reminds me of that. And it was actually refreshing to see that in this genre that doesn't have that usually. At least in my experience, I haven't really seen that. So it felt really fresh. And so in that way, I actually preferred it over those other 2 books that I mentioned, even though they're like both about like similar situations. I just think the mythology in it's really cool. Um it didn't feel as predictable as a lot of other similar stories, and I just, the writer is a good writer. So yeah, I liked it. And so I think if you're kind of craving something about like court drama, it's a fun one. And then next well, actually, that's all that I've read. I'm in the middle of a couple other things, but I don't want to talk about them since I haven't finished them. But yeah, that's my books corner. So let me know if you're going to check out any of these, if you have any recommendations. I've been looking for kind of like wintry holiday books lately, and I feel like if I were to give a recommendation, I feel like the Naomi Novik books are fun for the holidays. The first one's Spinning Silver, and oh my gosh, the other one. Well, they're both here, but I think those are really fun holiday books. I guess I just kind of like fairy tale oriented things for the holidays. So yeah, those. I'm. I don't know. I don't know what else I would recommend. I always like when I'm cozy and comfy, I just kind of go back to the same things. Like I'll reread The Howl's Moving Castle, those three books, or I actually picked up Mouse Guard. And I think that for me, that seems so holiday reading, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So I still have to get the third book, but I have the first two, Mouse Guard. I'm looking at them right now. If you're wondering, Mouse Guard 1152 and 1153. And then I have some comic books I actually am about to read. My companion bought me Far Sector, which is so cool. It's N.K. Jemisin wrote this comic book, and it's on Gerard Way's Young Animals line. Is that what it's called? Yeah. So it's just so cool, and I keep flipping through, and like the art is really cool, and it's N.K. Jemisin, who I love, and it just like the characters look cool. So I'm actually really excited, and I have to give a shout out to Bookish Realm over here. She's here. Follow her because I've always been into graphic novels, but after watching her videos all the time, I just feel so much more open to more comic books. And I have always liked comic books, but I feel like I'm getting out of my comfort zone with comic books. Before, I just always like a certain type of comic book. I love monstrous, but I'm just like kind of, yeah, getting out of my shell a little and going towards these other things. And I think part of it is that I'm more interested in like diverse voices in comic books. And before, when I wasn't getting that, I was kind of like, So I think there were more diverse voices in graphic novels before, or at least that's how I felt. So that's why I never really explored. But with the onset of these other projects that I keep seeing, like I feel more excited. And then yeah, thanks to her, that's why I'm a fan of James Tinian and stuff. So thank you so much, Bookish Realm. Like she's probably not going to see this, but I feel like she's really helped me to expand, the kind of comic books that I read. So I'm reading that, and then I'm also going to read. My boyfriend collected a Supergirl little short run for me, so I need to get to that too. So I'm really excited about those things, and I'm not even going to mention the actual like literature that I'm working on because I just don't know what's going to be done by next episode. But yeah, I'm excited for those things. So if you have any other comic book recommendations or graphic novel recs, please leave a comment and tell me what I should read because I'm always reading, and I'm building my list of my goal list for 2022 for my reading list. So I'd love to put more titles on that. So that's it, everyone. I think I went through everything that I meant to go through. Thank you so much for hanging out with me if you're still here. I know I had so many projects and so many things to show you, but I've just been in this crazy holiday knitting mode. Thank you for being in my cozy chaos with me, and I hope you have a really good time and a really good holiday. And even if you don't celebrate anything, that's cool. Just like I hope you have a good time taking some days off and being cozy at home. And yeah, thank you so much. I hope to see you guys in about another month. Happy holidays.